Hi all, welcome to my channel. I'm Matt, this is Max Mods, and today guys we are going to be doing the Samba Camper. So we have pack 8 stages 33, 34, 35, 36 and hiding in the back there is issue 37. Plus we have got finally issue 32 from pack 7. I got the magazine for issue 32 in the last pack, pack 7, but I got the wrong parts. They sent me parts for issue 46 instead of issue 32, so I had to contact D'Agostini and basically ask for some new parts to be sent out. So I got a magazine and the new parts sent out, so that means I've got 2 magazines. Okay. If anybody wants an issue 32 of Samba Camper, please be my guest because I have a spare one. Okay, so again, we're just going to be continuing with the seats in this one. It just seems all seats. Seats. Yeah, not much fun at all, really, in these issues. But I'll be glad when the seats are over. And then we can finally move on to the engine. And then I think we work on the chassis. And then I think we work on the outer body. So we'll just have to see how all that goes in this one. But I'm really eager to get started now. I could have done issue 32 as a standalone video. But it would have only been about 5 minutes long because it's literally 2 parts, 2 screws, and that's it. So I don't think we missed much from pack 7, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, nah, not much at all to do. But anyway, we'll do it to finish off that pack, and then we'll move straight on to pack 8. So we're getting these 6 issues instead of the 5 issues today. So can't be all bad. Anyway, I'm rambling away as per usual. So with all that said, let's get modelling. Okay guys, so we'll start with issue 32. Now, this is absolutely unbelievable. We've got the parts checked like normal. If I can get that into focus. Okay, so we've got the parts as normal. And then we get a very functional cabin. Again, we get the double page spread of, yeah. Okay. Then we go into this, so we've got all the bits and pieces that we're going to be doing. Literally, it's just 2 pieces put together, and that's it. So, let's get modelling. Okay, so here we have stage 32 parts. Let's get these out. And all it wants us to do, to be honest with you, is we need to put this one onto here. Just like so. Then we've got some BPO3 screws. Let's just get into them. Show my scissors out, but never mind. Move that out of the way. And there we are, BPO3s. And we've just got 2 screws to put on. So this will finish pack 7, issue 32. So, like I said, not really missing much in this issue from last time. That's 1. And then we'll get the final one in. Okay, so that's that. We've got these parts, but we'll put them aside until we need them. So just see if I can just tighten up a bit more. So this is the heater outlet. Okay, that's pretty secure. So that's we need to put to one side, and we can now move on to pack 8, and that is stage 33. So let's just change magazine. So here we have 33, and in this one we have some more BP03 screws. So I'm going to get my scissors this time. Bit safer to use scissors than it is to use a scalpel or craft knife or whatever you want to call it. There's a couple of screws that just don't want to come out of the packet. Okay, so that's the BPO3 screws out. Move that to one side. Okay, so we'll start with step 1, and it's retrieve the support supply of issue 32. So that's these here. So these are literally going to be going on to this part that we've got here. Now, I'm just looking how, if this is anywhere that it's got to go on. So I don't think it matters. So I think those are identically the same. Okay, so we need to put them on, and then we need to screw them down with some BP03 screws. So we need 2 screws for this. I'm going to have to come in at a bit of an angle here, because the top is in the way. So let's just get this in. The hole does seem quite small compared to... Ah, that's why, because you've got to screw them from the other side. My mistake. Okay, so we screw them in from this side. I'm going to say that was quite strange going in at an angle, but you know, you never know with these things. So that's one in. We should, at the end of this, have a very impressive model. Even though it can be a little bit slow, but it's not the first artwork to go at a snail's pace, really. Okay, so we've done that one. It now wants us to do this far one, so that's just going to go into there. Need another 2 BP03 screws. Okay, so screw this from the side. That's one. And that is 2. Okay, and then the last one we need to put in, this orientation around. This is going to be going into the first few holes here. Now, I don't think this has got a orientation to be in. It goes like that, or can you put it in like that? Right, so it can only go in one way, which is that way. And then again, we should secure that from behind with another BP03 screw. Okay, that's in place, and I think that is, yeah, that's the end of issue 33. So we put some more bits and pieces on the seat base there, and yeah, on to issue 34. Okay, so here is stage 34's parts. Nice bit of seat there. Got some screws. We've got some more BP03 screws. So we'll get them out. Okay, so that's some more BP03s. And we've got some BP04s as well today. We'll get them out. Okay, so what we need to do is, I'm just going to put that junk over there. We need to retrieve this, what we did in the previous issue. And we also need the seat that's come in this issue. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically put this on top. Just making sure that all the sides are properly in, which is brilliant. And then we need to screw this in 4 places with the BP04 screws. So 4 places, 5 places. So we've got one. One here. Would you get this one in over here? A bit of flashing in that one there. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully it shouldn't cause too much of a problem. And it'll just move out of the way as we screw this in, which it has done. Okay, next one. Okay. It's a lot of when you look at the magazine, there's a lot of instructions for just simple things, really. It can be a little bit, I don't know, as if they're treating you a little stupidly. That's just my opinion. Okay, so that's in place. Okay. Next, we need this from a previous issue, and basically we're going to be putting this together, just like that. Now we need to screw this down with 5 BP03 screws, so I think it's best to get one ready. And what I'm going to try and do is what I always do, is try and go for the center one first of all, and that's going to hopefully hold it in place while I get the other screws in. So that's now held in place. It looks okay from that side. So what I'll do now is I'll get all the other screws in place. So I want 5 of these. Does help if you line up the screw hole. One, another one. So that's the second screw, and we've got 5 of these to put in. So you know, it's belt and braces time. Right, this one's not lining up how I'd want it to. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's a little bit off. I think that's grabbed it. Yeah, that's tightening now. Okay, another one. And I think after this will be this stage complete. Another one in. Get another BP03 screw. Okay, so all 5 of them are now in place, as you can see. Let's check the magazine. Nothing to do in the next page. So that is stage 34 complete. Okay, so we do have stage 35 parts here, but guess what? We're not using them, so we need to put them aside for a later stage. What we do need is we need to bring the seat we did in the previous stage and the air cooler, well, heater outlet that was done in stage 32. So, right, here we go. So the first thing we need to do, we need to bring the main interior of the camper across. I can without knocking anything over. Here we are. And the first thing we need to do is we need to put this in place. So it's asking us to more or less like so. It's got two notches that it goes into either side, and then we need to turn it over and screw that in with a BP03 screw from underneath. But it will just be in this hole. If I can turn it upside down, just here. I can feel it behind it. Okay, there we go. That's that in place. Right, so the next thing we need to do is we need to retrieve our rear seat. And what we'll be doing is we're actually going to place this in now. So this is just going to slot in to this hole here, this hole here, this hole here, and these two holes here. Okay. And then we need to screw that in again in 5 places from underneath. So 1, 2, so I've got 5 BP03 screws. That's the screw we're using. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get the centre one in as normal. So that would be this one here. And as usual, hopefully that will keep it in place. And then we'll get the other lot of screws on. So we want one here, which is working. Okay, so that's another one. We'll get another one in just down here, and then we'll move the model over and get the last 2 screws. Lots of screws we're putting in this issue. Okay, right, so we'll go to the other side. So it's these 2 holes here. That's another one done, and then the final one. I think I can only guess that that will be coming to the end of this stage. Okay, so that seat is now in place, and there we have it. Now we have the seat in place. We've got the heater just down below there. Don't know if you can see that. Just down there, that tube. I'm not going to really see it much, but that's it for this stage. Wow. So hopefully that is the final seats in place. So that is stage 35 complete. Okay, stage 36. Guess again, guys, we've got parts, but we're not doing anything with them. What we do need is the parts from stage 35. So let's get into these. Okay, so that's that one, and put aside that one. So as far as I'm aware, we need all the parts that are in this stage. So here is this part here, which I believe is an ashtray. Don't find that in many cars these days. And here we actually have some BP07 screws. Now, is BP07 a new screw? It is. It's not one we've had before. Such little silver screws. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to bring the inside of the car across, the interior, and we've got a handle that's just going to go into there. This is just a push fit connection. Okay, there we go. That's just a nice simple push fit. Okay, so just move that to one side for a second, because we need to bring over our spare wheel housing, and we've got this part to put on here. Now it can only go on one way. We've got a bigger hole there and a smaller hole there. We've got a bigger tab there and a smaller tab there, so it's not hard. Okay, and then we need to screw that in with one of the new BP07 screws. I'm getting excited for a new screw. Now these are small. These are very small. But they do fit on the wearer 00, so I don't have to get out the PH00, just use the 0. Okay, they are in place. And what it's asking us to do is we need to bring the body of the car across. Try and get it up like this so you can sort of see what I'm doing. And we're basically just going to be putting this just into here. Like so. Going to line up some tabs. And it should just push into place just like that. Okay, so that's installed, and that's it for stage 36. Yes, that's it for stage 36. So 36. Oh, hang on, there's a couple of tabs just down there that need pushing in. I didn't realise that. See them there. There we go. That's all in place. That's stage 36 complete. Okay, stage 37. Here's the parts. We do need them. So let's get into these. I believe that is the front of the camper. Wow. And we have some BP06 screws. We've had these before. So let's try and keep them in order on my mat, and I'll try and do it by numerical order. So basically the ones they go from, like, well, we've had BP03, BP04, BP06 now, and BP07, so they sort of go down on my magnetic mat. Useless information for people, but you know. Okay, so we also need the bits from issue 36 as well. But it's nice that we're not going to have any leftover parts in this. Okay, and again we've got some BP06 screws here. Okay, so BP06, put them in there. Fantastic. Okay, so let's get on with the build. So the first thing it wants us to do is we need to grab this section here on our floor interior of the cabin, and it wants us to put this onto here just like that, and then from underneath screw it in with the BP06 screws. I've just got one on the floor, and can I find it quickly? Probably not, because the story of my life is losing screws on the floor. Found it. Right, so let's get this in. So I'm very cautious about fine detail on this. It's one thing that as modelers I worry about. As a modeler I do worry about. I just wish they'd think that when doing these. So I've done the centre one as normal, and I'll put the BP06 screws in the other bits. So this is going to be the back of the camper. Okay, so just last one just down here. Fantastic. Okay, so now we've done that, we need to bring this bit from our current issue 100. I wish we're issue 37. And we're basically going to slot this in from underneath. Bring it round like that. I'm going to slot this in, And then again, we're going to screw this in with 5 BP07 screws. So, again, I'm going to go for the centre one first. And then that holds it in place. Okay, that's the first one. And then we'll carry on with all the others. Now, from the actual end of this, we more or less will get a size on our bus. I mean, yes, it'll be a tiny little bit wider in length because we'll have like the inner and the outer. It kind of just gives us a little bit perspective of how this is going to measure up. And I can tell you now, it's not going to fit in the drawer that I have all the bits in. So I'll have to find somewhere on the shelf for this to go. Okay, this is the last one. Okay. Right, so if we flip this over, there we go. So that is quite big. So if I put this on my cutting mat, sort of line it up, we're talking about 50 centimetres in length. If I try and go up a bit on my camera, as far as I can go really, there we have it. So if this was my hand, that's more or less the size of what it can be. Got anything else I can compare it with to hand? Something that we all use. Okay, set screw cutters. So there we go. That's humongous. Wow. Okay, so yeah, that is it. That's stage 37 done. And that is pack 8 done. Wow. Amazing. Yeah, it's all come together in the end of this pack, I do believe. I'm just making sure everything's down as it should be. Yeah. So yeah, pack 9, which I do have behind me in my cupboard. I do have pack 9, and gosh, we are going to be starting on some of the pedals for the front. Some of the wiring as well, so we're going to have a few electrics going on there. And yeah, and we do, in the last stage of pack 9, we do start on the engine, which is really, really exciting because we've been working on the interior for a long time now, and I just want to change on to something a little bit different. I mean, this is the first vehicle I've made where we've actually built the interior first before we've built anything else. We normally build the engine, then the chassis, then the interior, then the exterior, but this is how these models work, and this is how different they are from any other models really. So yeah, it's a whole new way of doing this. But that is stage 37 and pack 8 complete. Well guys, what do you think of that? Wow, what a pack that was. And it's nice to hopefully finish off the interior on this vehicle. No more seats, thank goodness. Yeah, we seem to be on seats for quite a while now. But yeah, that is pack 8 complete. We are well into this build now, of a 24-month pack build. And if I mean, look at this compared to me. Wow, that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. That is huge, and I'm gonna have to find somewhere behind me to put it. I'm hopefully planning on moving things around in here because I'm getting a little bit bored. I like to change things up every now and often, and I just think me working behind on the computer behind there is going to be a lot easier, which means the wall that's in front of me, which is one of the biggest walls in this room, I can put some really big shelves up, and I can put a lot of the models on these shelves. It will be amazing to do that, really amazing to do that. And then where I am now, I can actually literally use as my build desk. I did have this side as my build desk, but I kind of moved things around, but I'm running out of space over there massively. and it's becoming a bit of a tight squeeze with everything as your models and your equipment gets bigger and bigger every time you decide to do something new and challenge yourself. So yeah, I'm gonna have to seriously look into trying to sort things out in here. Now, what that means is there's probably going to be no videos on the channel for a week or a couple of weeks or so. That's only because obviously I've been moving things around. It doesn't say that I won't be around, because probably one of the first things I want to do is rip that bottom shelf out behind me and probably then put my desk up straight away and wire everything back up again. That's probably one of the first things I'll need to do because of basically, yeah, because of how things are going to be. But it'll take me a bit longer to build everything up back up on here again, if you know what I mean, where the build table is. But anyway, that's enough of me whittering on and on. Anyway, if you like this video, please can you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell and you're notified of any future issues. If you'd like to support the channel, down below in the description there is the link for my Patreon if you'd like to become a Patreon member and support the channel a bit more. There also is channel membership as well if you'd like to come and help the channel that way. If it's easier for you guys to do. All what comes through Patreon and membership, YouTube ad revenue and everything, it all goes back into the channel, whether it's new equipment, new tools, new anything really. It all goes back into the channel, and that's the way I like it to be. I just like to make sure that the channel grows and grows. Anyway, guys, as for always though, stay safe and bye for now.